Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for what the. Okay, let's try this again. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan coming to you live from Skyline Park in Brookline, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of today's high school varsity boys rugby contest between the visiting Wildcats of Weymouth High School and Skyline Park being a bit stubborn in terms of its Wi-Fi connection right now, which is incredibly frustrating. You know, this is the one park that really gives. This is the one Brookline home field that gives me trouble. Sometimes the connection is absolutely perfect, and then sometimes, like today, it's just terrible. And I really there's just nothing I can do about it. And I don't even know why it works well some days and doesn't work well on others. I don't know if the wind or the position of the sun or what have you causes the Wi-Fi connection to go on the absolute fritz, but that's what's happening. Right now, Brookline having their pregame senior day ceremonies to honor the senior class of 2024. We can't really hear it from over here. So yeah, this is a rough start to the day, but we're gonna keep plugging along, doing our best out here. Meantime, I'm just filling in the roster for the teams. So now they're just warming up before we get this one started. Boy, I don't think I've ever had connections this bad at Skyline. Today is just awful. And there really isn't another network. Jeez. I don't even know what to do. Well, it seems like things are just going to be bad internet-wise for this connection, as we're soon going to get this game underway. Well, at this point, there's nothing I can do about the bad Wi-Fi connection, but just hope that it magically gets better as the game goes on. And just promise that I'll put out the recorded version later tonight. And it looks like we're going to get this underway. I'm not going to have time to fill in the full rosters, but we're going to get this game going. Brookline comes into this contest ranked 4th in the division in the most recent Division I MIAA power rankings. Weymouth ranked at the very top, the 2-time defending MIAA Division II state champions. My mistake. They're both Division II squads. Here we go. We start the first of two 35-minute halves. Long kick from Brookline, and Weymouth starts running it down the far side. Big return to start as the return man gets taken down. And now Weymouth starts out of the ruck. Quick tackle. Well behind where the ruck started. Now Weymouth decides to go for the kick. Received by Brookline. They start running, a bit of a stumble there, but they cut forward. Out of the ruck, a toss back from the flanker, number 6, Graham Rothschild. Just trying to pick up the roster as I go here. Toss goes back, and piling forward, I think, was number 7, Milo Nygren. Now they move to the near side. Players brought down, brought back out, and the scrum half, David Perez-Lawrence, tosses it back. Trying to find their openings, and a big hit there from the Wildcats. Brookline keeps possession, but they are moving backwards, and they go for the kick. Kelly was brought down. Out of the ruck, a couple quick tosses, and that toss almost missed, barely recovered. They toss it back to number 28, Brian Allen. A toss out of the ruck there, goes back to number 10, Will Savage. And everyone's right up on the sideline watching. It's hard to see through. I was told to move further back than even where I shoot soccer games from, but no one's being safe here. The number 8, Nahim Ridore, brought down. Now carrying it and breaking free. And brought into the try area, Will Savage gets the first points on the board. So now a 5-0 lead for the two-time defending champs, as Will Savage scores the game's first try. Now this try was scored near the far sideline, so that's the angle that the conversion kick is going to come from. Soccer net for the crossbar of the uprights. 5-0 Weymouth leads here in the first half. As Brookline gets set to kick it away once again. This ball is kicked away by number 10, Nate Lockwood. Received by the Wildcats on the far side. Wildcats trying to break through the middle. Some headway made there by number 2, Kelly. Toss back. That one missed. Loose ball. Big chance for Brookline as they dive for it, but the whistle is blown. As I think there might have been a delayed infraction against Brookline as or no, it might just be because a couple players were going for the loose ball and no one was grabbing it. They might have called for a scrum. So we are setting up with the game's first scrum. Advantage to Weymouth as Josh Cullivan will insert. Hooked back quickly by the Wildcats. Cullivan tosses it back, and it's a long kick out to midfield. Takes a favorable bounce for Weymouth, and no one's picking it up. Finally chased down by Lockwood. Lockwood thought about the kick, now tosses it, finds the fullback Ben Speicher. Speicher brought down along the near side. Out of the ruck, Perez-Lawrence tosses it back. Piling forward, I believe, is number 1 for Brookline, Bacall Hooks. Now tossed back by Perez-Lawrence. And that time was Durant running into the pile. Perez-Lawrence tosses back to Lockwood. They work it down the far side. Bit of an opening here. Breaking free. Extra toss. Juggled and still recovered by Brookline as... Or no, they're going to give this one back to Weymouth. I didn't quite... Bit hard to see on the far side. No elevation, no elevated spot to really shoot from here at Skyline Park. They called a forward pass on Brookline. Tried to go for the extra pitch to try and keep it moving. Ended up throwing it a little too, ended up throwing it forward. So it'll be a scrum, advantage Weymouth. Wildcats come out with a burst of speed. Barreling over a tackler was number 8, Nahim Ridore. Weymouth makes some good ground there. Now they start working towards the middle. Savage fakes the toss and breaks through a hole, gains some ground there. Oh, looks like Brookline took it away on the loose ball. I think that was taken away by Hooks. And now out of the whistle, I believe it'll be a free ball for Brookline. They go for the kick. They kick it out of bounds to set themselves up for a line out. Brookline trying to answer after Weymouth got the game's first points on the successful try by Will Savage. Thrown in complete to the jumper, who I believe was Max von Wagner. Now out of the ruck, Weymouth tried to make an effort to take the ball away, but Brookline protects the ball well. Hooks brought down. Out of the ruck, Perez Lawrence toss it back. Extra toss there. Diving through was Speicher. Now Perez Lawrence tosses it to Lockwood. Extra toss there. Lost the ball. And it's picked up by Ridore for the Wildcats. Toss to the far side. And a whistle as the ball was being carried by number 5, Christian Leinen. Weymouth running with it again. Ridore brought down. I know visibility's not great on this shot, but there's really not much I can do. As Weymouth starting to break through. Toss back, goes to Kelly. Kelly drags a couple of tacklers forward. Now gives it back to the scrum half, Josh Cullivan. Cullivan tossed that one, kind of missed, but it was recovered by the inside center, Cam Ieda. Now a toss back, and Savage taking off running with it. And trying to barrel it forward is Kelly, brought down. Now a toss back, Ridore. Extra toss back to Tony Gonzalez-Dumont. And now we really can't see what's happening. There looks like they're going to be piling it in for the try, as I believe that was Naheem Ridore who converted on that one. (10-0) the Weymouth lead. Again, it's going to be a rough angle on the conversion kick as they score along the near sideline. Savage lining up for another conversion kick. Savage's kick appears to have been good this time, as Weymouth takes the 12-0 lead. That one hooked just inside the far upright. A 12-0 lead for the Wildcats. going to see if I can raise my camera up a little higher, see if we can get a better vantage point here as Brookline kicks that ball away. Again, being run down the far side by the Wildcats. Couple tosses back, booted up in the air. Bounces out, and so that'll be a line out. Line out complete by Brookline. They get it to the jumper, number 6, Graham Rothschild. Perez Lawrence now toss it back directly to Hooks. Hooks brought down. Perez Lawrence tossed back to Lockwood as they start working it down the far side. Ball's lost. The ball came out and Weymouth takes advantage and takes it away. It'll be a scrum, actually. Out of the scrum, Weymouth takes it. Got some open space on the near side. Running with there was Gonzalez Dumont. Weymouth not able to get much on that one, but they maintain possession. Tossed back and a kick coming from Savage. Taken off the bounce, kicked right back by Lockwood. Lockwood chasing after his own kick. It is picked up and nice grab by Lockwood as a couple of teammates help to finally bring down Christian Lanin. Now they get it to Kelly. Toss back, another kick. That one almost blocked, but flies high towards midfield. It's corralled by Speicher, and the ball's lost on, I think, an attempted pitch there as Lockwood now running with it. Lockwood trying to find some room, gets close to midfield before being taken down, and out of the ruck we got a whistle blown. Looks like it's going to be a free ball for Brookline, and they opt to have Lockwood kick it out to set up the line out. Out of the line out. Pass is complete to number 28, Dan Ashton Rickart. And we've quickly got another whistle. And again, a free ball is kicked out of bounds by Lockwood as Brookline will set up for another line out. Line out complete by Brookline. They start moving it down the far side. Get a little bit of headway on that one. Now a toss back to Lockwood. And then back to number 13, Will Simkis Reddington. Now quick toss, Lockwood to Spicer. Spicer trying to cut around. He is upended hard. And they're going to call an illegal tackle on that one, as you're not allowed to pick someone up and drive them into the turf. And so the official having a talk with the Weymouth player there. So Brookline getting another free kick there as Lockwood again opts to boot it out, set up the line out. Very close to the try zone here. Warriors with a chance to get on the board. As number 2, Max Durant, sets up to throw this one in. Got the ball in. Thrown in complete to the jumper. Perez Lawrence toss. Quick toss disrupted by a teammate, but it's chased down by Lockwood. Brookline moves a little bit backwards on the miscommunication there. Out of the ruck. Toss back to Hooks. Hooks finding some room. Bacall Hooks dragging tacklers down very close to the try zone. Looks like they've blown a whistle for an infraction. Sir, would you mind just moving a bit? Thank you. And Brookline getting a free ball. There they are. Toss goes back. Diving forward, still just short. Now this one a toss, and Brookline moving a little bit backwards. Still can't quite get into the try zone. They're still trying to work down the far side. They go to the wing. Still not there. Weymouth with a strong stand here. Another couple quick tosses. They try going out far side again. And again, Weymouth pushing them back. And that one might have gone out of bounds. Looks like it's going to be a line out for Weymouth now. So Brookline not able to score the try, as now Weymouth takes over with the ball. There's a whistle blown, some kind of stall here. I'm not sure if Brookline's bringing in a sub or what. I think it was a sub for Brookline that was coming in. And indeed, there is a sub in for Brookline. Throw-in is complete to the jumper, Lanin. I didn't quite see what happened there, if they're having to redo the line out. That one complete to the jumpers. Brookline got the line out that time, and I promise, folks, we are going to get back to the action eventually. We're going to be able to go 5 seconds of live ball without another whistle being blown. It's going to happen. They set up for a scrum this time. Advantage to anyone who likes the sound of whistles and the ball not moving. As they reset the scrum again. Advantage to Weymouth. Hooked back, and the Wildcats trying to break out. Ball got loose there. And so I think they'll be setting up another scrum. As Weymouth kind of dropped that one. Might have even been ruled that it, looks like it's going to be advantage Brookline on this scrum. They are still deep in the Weymouth end, so if they can get an opening out of this scrum, that could be huge for potentially getting them on the board. But Weymouth, despite Brookline having the advantage on the scrum, Weymouth comes out with it, and now there's a big opening as number 12, Cam Ieda, takes off running. Broke one tackle, got taken down but tossed it back. Number 28, Brian Allen, tossed it back. Now after the player brought down, Cullivan tosses it back, and Savage boots it away. Juggled by Speicher, but he picks it back up. Speicher off and running, brought down. Okay, now you're good, but if it turns a little bit, you probably will be. Out of the free ball, Brookline takes off running with it. Toss missed, but recovered, but the whistle blown off the dropped pass there as Lockwood was trying to connect with the wing, Leo Samuels. Setting up for a near side scrum. We get a great view of this one, as the advantage will be with Weymouth as Cullivan gets ready to insert. And it's hooked back. Cullivan tosses it out. Savage now gives to Ieda. Ieda brought down. We got a whistle in the middle of the ruck. Penalty on Brookline, and so a free ball for Weymouth. As Savage boots that one. I think that one's going to stay in play. It's taken back and kicked back immediately by the Warriors. After it is Savage. Savage running with it. Gets brought down, still deep in the Weymouth end. Weymouth trying to push the pile and inch the ball forward. Looks like they called another penalty on Brookline, and so the free kick from Savage flies out of bounds to set up the line out for the Wildcats. Throw-in is completed to the jumper, Lanin. Now Weymouth starting to work it towards the middle. Couple quick tosses, winds up with Gonzalez Dumont. He's brought down, tried to toss back quick, backfires as it bounced off. Brookline falls on it and a whistle is blown, as I think there might have been perhaps a delayed infraction. It'll be a scrum advantage, Brookline. They got to be careful. Last time they had the advantage, Weymouth was able to still hook it away. Out of this scrum, Brookline's pile being pushed back, but they still come out with the ball off the scrum. Brookline trying to work it out the far side. It looks like they called a penalty on Weymouth. Free ball for Brookline, and Lockwood boots that one, flies out. So a line out coming up. 12-0, still the score in favor of Weymouth here in the first half. No scoreboard here, so I can't tell you how much time is left on the clock. So they play with two 35-minute halves in high school rugby. This one misses. Aimed at the jumper, Ashton Rickart just missed his outstretched hands. Weymouth taking advantage. Tossed to Savage, and then Ayeta brought down. Now Cullivan tosses it back again. Trying to break up the inside was Landry Siako. Another quick toss back to Savage, and Savage finds an opening to boot it away. Caught out of the air by Speicher. Speicher with a bit of a running start here. Brings it across midfield. Oh, he got back up and now handed the ball away. Got it away to one of the wings. That's Kian Hauser. Hauser running with it, brought down. But a huge gain off the handoff from Speicher to Hauser. Now a toss back to Lockwood. Lockwood boots it forward for himself. Lockwood diving on it. Lockwood's got the try. Nate Lockwood, also known as a soccer player, he decides to display a little bit of his soccer skills, basically kicking a leader for himself on this play as he drop kicked that ball, bouncing forward, chased after it, and dove on it, and Brookline is on the board. Now Lockwood following up his try with an attempt at a conversion. Regardless of whether he succeeds or not, it is still a one-score game, but a conversion here would mean all they would need to get is a try to tie the game. Lockwood's kick is going to curve wide, well wide, maybe caught a bit of the wind there. No good on the conversion, but Brookline is on the board, 12-5, the Weymouth lead. And all I can say is, boy, am I glad they scored on that side of the field. Because they scored on this side, would have been a lot harder to see. Weymouth now setting up to kick this one away. As Cullivan with the short drop kick. It's knocked away. Brookline struggling to pick it up. They do finally recover it. Milo Nygren, I think, had it, but a whistle blown. And it looks like they're going to set up in the scrum. Looks like advantage Brookline on this scrum. Perez Lawrence inserts. Again, Brookline trying not to get out-muscled, and they do come out of the scrum with the ball. And now they get a chance to set up on offense again. Booted away. Bouncing along. Chased down by number 16, Jamie Hopkins. Brought down. Set up in the ruck. Toss back. Weymouth moving towards the middle. Now cutting upfield, an extra toss to an open man, taking off, running with it, getting the edge is Ayeta. Ayeta brings it in for the try. Number 12, Cam Ayeta. Just got the edge down the near sideline. I know it was really hard to see, but Ayeta does score there. Makes it a 17-5 game in favor of Weymouth. Will Savage setting up for the conversion kick. Savage 1 for 2 on his conversion kicks so far today. This kick goes straight through. Savage now 2 of 3 on his conversion kicks. And Weymouth now up 2 scores. They go up 19-5. Lockwood, the drop kick. Taking up the far side, breaking a tackle, and now trying to push the pile. Again, Weymouth asserting their strength. Has faked the toss a couple times now, gets it out. Breaking free again is Ayeta. Ayeta with one man to beat, jukes him out, and Ayeta is going to go all the way again. Another successful try for Cam Ayeta. As Weymouth now starting to break this open. Ayeta scores his second try. As Weymouth now goes up 24-5. And this is kind of the problem. Once a team is able to kind of assert its strength on the inside, that forces the opposing defense to concentrate more of their power on the inside, opens things up for them to go to the toss, and then a guy just has to juke out a couple of defenders, and he's gone. And that's what we've seen these past couple of runs from Cam Ayeta. As now Savage sets up for a more straightaway conversion attempt. He's had to kick from the sides the past few. 2 for 3 on his kicks so far. And I think that one went through. And so Savage converts for the third time, 3 out of 4 on his kicks now today. And Weymouth leads Brookline 26-5. And so I think that was actually the last play of the half. And we are now at halftime. Our score at half, Weymouth 26, Brookline 5. Weymouth led by 2 tries from Cam Ayeta. Naheem Radore and Will Savage each scored a try as well, and Savage has been 3 of 4 on conversion kicks. For Brookline, their lone score came on a successful try by Nate Lockwood. During this halftime break, I'd like to take a moment for a local charity spotlight. I'd like to tell you about the Brookline Community Foundation. For over 100 years, the Brookline Community Foundation has been a trusted partner, supporting Brookline by investing in organizations and initiatives that help create opportunity and promote equity for everyone who lives, learns, works, and plays in our community. Among the foundation's many grant programs is the BCF Scholarship Fund for Brookline High School, which provides graduating BHS students with scholarships to help fund post-secondary education. To date, thanks to the generosity of over 140 donors over the past 9 years, BCF has raised over $1.4 million in scholarship funding, and just last year awarded over $180,000 in scholarship funds to the class of 2023. Your help is crucial to supporting Brookline youth as they embark on the next steps in their educational journeys. Visit brooklinecommunity.org or call 617-566-4442 to learn more about the BCF Scholarship Fund for Brookline High School and how you can make a difference right here in Brookline. Once again, brooklinecommunity.org or call 617-566-4442. And all that information can be found in the description section down below. During this halftime break, well, actually, it looks like I think the halftime break is over. It's a short halftime break in rugby. So after Brookline kicked away the opening kick of the first half, 2 teams switch sides, and Weymouth will send the opening kick of the second half. The 2-time defending Division II state champion Wildcats in control of the score so far, leading by 3 scores, 26-5. we got the drop kick to start the second half. The short kick picked up by Brookline and brought down in the pile, I think, was number 3, Bryce Figueiredo. That toss went a little errant. Falling on the ball, though, was number 12, Will England, as Brookline maintains possession. Oh, but that ball was ripped out by Ayeta, and Ayeta stiff-arming a couple of guys and bringing the ball forward. Cam Ayeta with a big takeaway there. Quick toss. I believe that was number 2, Tommy Kelly, who was running with the ball as the whistle is now blown. Must have been a penalty on Brookline as they start running free with it. A couple tosses go out to the far end. Close to the try zone now. Weymouth trying to assert their lead. But I think they might have called a penalty on Weymouth, actually. And so Brookline takes advantage, goes for the free kick, gets it out of their own backyard there, and sets up for the lineout. Line out complete to Rothschild, the jumper. Now off the scrum, Weymouth takes advantage. Toss very close to a forward pass, but they complete it to Ayeta, and he takes off running easily for another try. That last toss perfectly timed and just barely not forwards. That pass angled perfectly as Ayeta converts on his 3rd try of the day. And an easy straightaway kick for Savage for the conversion. (33-5) now the Weymouth lead. Now the drop kick from Brookline, taken by the Wildcats. They cut towards the middle, barrels over one potential tackler, and now taken down as Weymouth sets up to start another offensive move, and they start with a kick from Savage, and that's going to bounce out of bounds. And that attempted line out deflected by the Weymouth jumper, as that one rolls out of bounds as well. And it looks like they're actually going to set up in a scrum here. I think the advantage is going to be to Brookline. So we'll have Perez Lawrence insert this one. And we got a whistle blown. The scrum kind of came apart there. Now they're going to try the scrum again. This one is hooked back to Brookline. And this time I believe they called a penalty on Weymouth. Ooh, a Brookline player appears to be down hurt. That appears to be number 28, Dan Ashton Rickart. Hopefully he's okay. There's the kick off the penalty, set up for a line out. This line out complete. As Brookline timed their jump well to throw off Weymouth. They're working on the toss. Out to the near side, they get out to the wing, and finally brought down was Hauser. Out of the ruck, they couldn't get it. It's taken away by Ayeta, and a whistle blows, as I think they called a penalty on Weymouth there. Lockwood boots that one out to set up the line out. Oh, they fake. They go for the low throw into Hooks. And now set up on the play. Brought down there was Figueiredo. Now out of the ruck, couple tosses. They're trying to work far side now. Toss goes back to Lockwood, and further out far side, ball carrier dragged down. Brookline trying to look for that opening as they're still keeping it down the far side. Ooh, they got hit hard on the attempted pitch there, and the whistle is blown. as Weymouth was able to disrupt that exchange. And they now set up in the scrum. I think the advantage is going to be to Weymouth on this one. And it will be. Weymouth hooks this one back. Running out near side. The wing stiff arms one and is brought down. That was number 14 or number 4. But now a fight for the ball on the ground. This one booted out as they called the penalty on Brookline there. Boy, that one almost bounced down the hill, but it was just stopped by a fence. Kicked out by Savage. So line out for Weymouth now as Kelly gets set up to throw it in. They go up and complete it to Lanin. Quick toss is back. Running with it, number 7, Tony Marquez. A quick toss, Savage, Ayeta. Ayeta brought down. Now another toss, now Kelly. Finds a bit of an opening there, brings it further forward. Almost a big tackle there, but now they pitch to Ayeta. Ayeta puts on the Jets. Ayeta brought down, lost the ball, bounced out, almost picked up by Michael Morris. But instead, I think that loose ball is going to result in a scrum with the advantage to Brookline. Cam Ayeta was brought down, kind of bounced back up and tried to go for a last-second lateral there. And this will be a scrum advantage. Brookline off of the loose ball. Deep in the Brookline side of the field. So an important scrum for Brookline to recover. And they do. The kick is blocked though, and it's picked up for a successful try by number 7, Tony. Brookline was really making all the right moves there to try and get out of their own end, but they could not get the kickoff before Marquez broke around the edge to block the kick and then recover it for the try. Will Savage 4 of 5 on his previous conversion attempts. Boots that one through easily. (40-5), now the lead for Weymouth. here in the second half. Brookline setting up for another drop kick from Nate Lockwood. Puts this one a little short, kind of into no man's land, but jumping in to snag it was one of the Wildcats, as I believe that was number 1, Rafael de Alcantara. They get the toss out there to number 4, Michael Morris, but he can't go much further. And then Marquez, now out of the ruck, quick toss. And Kelly holds on to the ball as he's dragged down. Another couple quick tosses. Redore gets it to Lehnen. Lehnen brought down, but Weymouth inching ever forward as a whistle is blown, as they call the penalty on Weymouth there. And Brookline opts to what? Looks like they were trying to run with it, but blew a whistle. Might have started a bit premature there. And so instead, Lockwood opts to kick it. It is collected by Cullivan. Cullivan takes off running. Cullivan shakes off one tackle now, pitches to Lehnen. Lehnen sends it back. An extra pitch out to the far side. Running down the far side. Several tackles finally brought down. Who else but Cam Ayeta? As Weymouth gets all the way across midfield off a sequence of several good runs there. And they hook it back. Toss goes to Savage. Savage trying to gain the edge on the far sideline. Finally brought down by the last line of defense. Quickly they pick it up, try and move it forward. Now they're trying to set up the tosses. And that was Marquez brought down. Very close to the try zone, as that was a penalty, I think, called on Brookline. They give it to Savage, and Savage is in for the try. Second try of the day for Will Savage as he lines up for his 7th conversion attempt of the day. He's been 5 of 6 so far, as Weymouth now leads Brookline 45-5. This one flies in, and I believe that one missed. So Savage 5 of 7 on his conversion kick attempts. But Weymouth does lead Brookline by 40 here in the second half. Lockwood with a shallow drop kick here, and it's dropped by Weymouth, picked up by Brookline. Toss goes out to Hauser as a whistle was blown. Looks like we're going to have a scrum advantage Brookline on that one. It went for almost the rugby equivalent of an onside kick there with a shallow high drop kick. And De Alcantara couldn't quite grasp it for Weymouth as Brookline took that one away. We got a whistle on this scrum. And that one gets hooked back and they blow the whistle again. And it looks like that's up to a penalty against Brookline and now a free ball for Weymouth. This one booted. I think it's actually going to stay in. Juggled but caught by Hauser. And Hauser runs right into a tackler and is brought down. Brookline does take possession though. Brookline goes for the boot this time as Lockwood launches that one, gets a friendly bounce deep into Weymouth territory. And a quick takedown of Morris there as Weymouth is pinned back deep in their own end, but Brookline still got a lot of work as this one is booted right back. Looks like it's going to fly past Hauser and instead be picked up by one of the subs. Running with it, number 22, Isaac Speicher. Another toss, couple of tosses. As that one, the ball pops out, taken away by the Wildcats, recovered by Landry Siako. Weymouth trying to push the ball down the far side. Out of the ruck, a toss to Savage and to Lanin. Lanin puts on the speed, gets across midfield, gets brought down a couple of times. And now they set up in the ruck. Toss back, Savage fakes the toss now, tosses a little bit off the mark. Ayeta barely recovers it, and the ball is almost ripped away by Brookline, but they call a penalty on Brookline. And Savage boots this one out of bounds. And so that'll be a line out for Weymouth. As they work it down the far side. Gain some ground there. Redore trying to push the pile, brought down. Weymouth still trying to make it Through the mess there. And oh my, a brutal stiff arm appears to have drawn a whistle immediately as number 29, A.J. Bradford, sent a Brookline player flying with that stiff arm. After the penalty, and Lanin runs it in for another try. Christian Lanin with his (50-5). Savage lining up for another conversion attempt. He is 5 of 7 so far today. That one up and through. 52-5 now the Weymouth lead here in the second half. Kick from Lockwood, catches the wind. It's high and shallow, and it's caught by Hauser, which I don't think it quite flew far enough for him to be allowed to do that. Looks like after that infraction, they're going to set up in the scrum at midfield. Out of the scrum, it's hooked back to Ridore. Toss finds Cullivan. Cullivan off and running. Stiff arms one, still on his feet. And finally dragged down. Ridore comes out of the ruck with it. Moves it further forward. Now toss back. Savage and further back. Number 28, Allen with it. Brought down. Toss back to Savage. Out to number 19, who jukes out one. Finally brought down. That was number 19, Chase Ahern. Weymouth still trying to inch the ball down the far side. Toss goes back, Ridore. Shakes off a couple of tackles. Finally dragged down. Now barreling forward is Kelly. Trying to push it in the maul, looks like, but might be down on the ground. Fighting it very close to the try zone, and they do get in. Your guess is good as mine as to who scored that one, as it can be a bit hard to see into that pile of bodies when it's on the far side of the field. But another successful try for Weymouth gives them a 57-5 lead. Savage setting up for another conversion kick. And I think that one missed wide. And so 6 of 9 on his conversion attempts. And Weymouth leads by 52. Wi-Fi does appear to have stabilized its connection in the later stages of this game. Like I said, I never know what to expect out here at Skyline in terms of Wi-Fi connectivity, but I will upload a recorded version later tonight. Off and running with it here is Marquez. He gets brought down, gets back up, still going. Got to make sure you wrap the guy up if you want him to stop running. There's not like it's a down on contact rule like in American football. You know, if you want them to stop, you better make sure you wrap them up, as they were really trying to wrap him up that time. Started to pull his shorts down. My goodness. Now Ridore trying to run with it. Toss back, and Savage boots it. Taken now by Isaac Speicher. Toss. Brookline still running with it. We've got a player down hurt for Brookline, as he's just trying to get off the field. Finally a whistle blown for an infraction. Bacall Hooks went down looking hurt, but he appears to be walking it off. As Brookline sets up for a line out. Throw over the outstretched hands of the jumper. But a whistle is blown. And so they will get in the scrum now. Looks like advantage to Brookline. It's going to be inserted by number 21, Sam Bunk. The scrum, it's inserted. Brookline does hook it back to Bunk. Couple of tosses and now a leading kick. And it's picked up by Isaac Speicher. Brookline trying to work out to the edge. And I'm sure something happened. And I'm sure the people that I can't see through were able to see it just fine. But whatever happened there. Oh, I think that's the whistle for the end of the game. So that appears to be your ball game. Final score, the Weymouth High Wildcats 57, the Brookline High Warriors 5. Weymouth, the two-time defending Division II state champions, asserted their authority here today against fourth-ranked Brookline with a convincing win. Led by 3 tries from Cam Ayeta and 2 tries and 6 conversions from Will Savage. They also got 1 try each from Christian Lanin and Tony Marquez and Nahim Radore, and then 1 that I couldn't identify. For Brookline, their lone try came from Nate Lockwood, as the junior vice captain scored a nice kick to himself. But that's going to do it. Thank you all so much for watching. Presumably most of you watching after the fact due to the Wi-Fi problems we had here today at Skyline. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. If you enjoyed this broadcast, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. This is my last live stream of rugby for the regular season. You know, we'll see if either squad is able to clinch a playoff spot. And if they do, we'll see if I get booked for any playoff games for them. As there might be some competition with other Brookline teams making the playoffs. We'll see what happens. But either way, despite all the trials and tribulations of having to learn the rules, learn all the new players' names, dealing with Wi-Fi struggles, this, that, and the other thing, it truly has been nice to get to cover a sport I had never covered before. It's been truly a unique experience to get to experience that this spring, so I'm grateful to the Brookline High rugby programs, both boys and girls. Grateful to the head coaches, Jared Dyke and Court McCrodden, for granting me this opportunity. And I'm grateful to you, the fans, for tuning in, of course. So that's going to do it. From Skyline Park in Brookline, Massachusetts, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.